Will Smith's close friend and brother, Bilal, is coming forward with some shocking claims. He says Will pressured Bryshere Gray into things that ultimately shaped the path Brett took in life. According to Bilal, Will, and even Diddy, played a role in turning Bryshere Gray, the Empire star, into an adult entertainer. That's right. Brett is now reportedly selling videos of himself in intimate encounters with men.
I put out an interview with Will Smith grabbing Alfonso Rivera's penis, squeezing his nipple and trying to put his finger in his butt. Jada responded to the first global interview that I did with you.
That was a global interview.
It went all over.
It was in Arabic, I saw it.
Yeah, it's India, everywhere. I talked for 2 hours.
Okay.
And I said some pretty, what some people may think to be outrageous things, but I knew them to be true and had the evidence to show that it was true. That's when Jada responded out of anger, not out of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because for her to be a global iconic superstar, you rushed to the Breakfast Club to say, number one, that, I extorted you. There was a money shakedown. You said you didn't have all the facts. So that puts you in legal jeopardy right now. You said all the facts will come out. None of the facts came out. Now you, Will, and yourself are in legal jeopardy. Her lawyer sends me a cease and desist letter, which I had to report him to the bar. Kenneth B. Hurt, because he said I never knew Will, that I never worked for Will, and that he said he represented Willard Carroll Smith, which is Will's real name, but he was asking me to take down statements from Jada. So that's what we call in law overreaching. You cannot, if you're saying you represent Will, you can't compel me to do something against Jada,
okay,
right? So I already knew that I had him legally. So I said, okay, I got y'all. Now, once that happened, there was another interview, of course, when she came outside and reiterated that she was suing, right? And there was another interview with TMZ just after that where one of the cameramen asked Jada, hey, Jada, have you seen Will with any men before? And her answer was no. So now that's a lie too, because I put out an interview with Will Smith grabbing Alfonso Rivera's penis, squeezing his nipple and trying to put his finger in his butt. After that, they reached out to me through many people, one being Charles Austin, aka Charlie Mack, the federal informant. He reached out to me through a friend. From my understanding, allegedly, it was Will and Charlie.
Right now, Bilal is in a legal battle with Jada Pinkett Smith. Last year, around the same time Diddy faced arrest, Bilal spoke out publicly, claiming that Will and Diddy were connected in secret matters and that he had footage suggesting Will is secretly gay. Bilal wasn't just a friend. He was once Will's assistant. He says he personally witnessed Will with another man, Dwayne Martin, describing walking in on a private and intimate moment between the two.
And then I saw sexual acts that I walked in on.
Who'd you walk in on?
Him and Dwayne Martin.
Okay.
Hollywood is the hurry up and wait game. So 3 minutes later, after them telling me, hey, you got eyes on Will, we need him to come watch this. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like, well, but I see his car there. I'm like, where's this guy at? So now I'm holding Dwayne down too. So I have the keys to his dressing room. So I'm like, yo, and they're calling I'm on walkie-talkie and they're calling my cell phone. Yo, we need to get Will here. I'm like, yo, kind of fuck down. Like, I'm trying to find is like, this is unlike him, right? So, all right, I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will.
Let me process that for a second.
There was a couch and Will was bent over on the couch and Dwayne was standing up, killing him. Murder. It was murder in there.
Of course, Jada immediately labeled Bilal's claims as lies, and Will denied them too. This was actually the first time Will publicly addressed anything related to Diddy, and it was clear he was nervous about the situation.
We're in right now. It's really hard for y'all to discern what's true and what's true. I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff. You be making memes. I see the memes. Some of the stuff is funny. Some of it's funny. I haven't addressed any of this publicly, but I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop all their memes. I can stop all of that. I can stop all of that. Been nowhere near no freak off. Listen, I do enough of my own. I do enough of my own and other people. I ain't been nowhere near none of that stupid. Whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. It's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil. I usually don't respond. It's like people say so much stuff. That one, your beans was doing too much. Y'all was having me mad.
Will issued statements, but it was Jada who really took the aggressive approach, threatening Bilal and going on interviews saying she planned to sue him. Here's the kicker. Will never actually sued. Why? Because if they had taken Bilal to court, they would have had to prove he was lying. And that's not so simple. Bilal isn't just sharing gossip. He has more than stories about Will's sexual behavior. This is where Bryshere Gray's story comes in. Bilal claims Will had hired him to look after Brett, leaving him in charge. While working with Brett, Bilal discovered things no one expected.
Right? He's out there allegedly with male prostitutes. He's pissing in the trailer. He's acting psychotic, right?
Same thing he's doing now.
Beyond that. But this is why a show is going on, right? So I'm like, I pull him to the side, right? And I said, listen, I'm here to help you and so forth and so on. So he was like, all right, I feel that. He said, everybody on the set know you. Everybody seem like they love you. I want to love you because everybody else love you. I said, if that's what you want to do, then do it. But he kept acting up. And then one day I said, what the F is wrong with you? And he was like, you know. He said, you know, Will, Diddy made me suck his penis. You know what's going on. You know, Charlie made me suck. And I said, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. So he crying, no blood is coming from his nose. Yes, you do. And I'm like, yo, listen. So I grabbed my husband. I said, listen, I don't know. I didn't know what happened. Nothing. I was just asked to come. Is this true? Yeah, no, I'm gonna let you about to see if it's true from the paperwork. Oh, we telling something that got paperwork involved. Let me get to the paperwork. So at this point, I'm crying because I feel his pain. Like I can kind of tell when somebody phony and all, but it was the pain where the snot was coming out his nose. His nose was bleeding. He in the corner screaming, balled up, right? Like I could feel his pain, like he had been raped, like he had been forced to do something. You understand what I'm saying? So I said, well, listen, let me find out what's going on. He said, don't say nothing, right? So I'm like, yes. I'm like, yo, just relax. I said, everything gonna be okay, you know? And he was like, no, they gonna get me if I say something. They gonna get me if like he's spazzing.
It wasn't just Brett telling his side. Will allegedly admitted to Bilal that Brett's account was accurate. According to Bilal, Will described their involvement as a consensual sexual relationship at first. But when Brett asked Will to stop, he allegedly ignored him and continued. Will knew it was wrong, and the realization clearly left him worried.
Like, is this guy crazy or what's happening? So I end up telling Charlie Mack, and he said, I'm on my way out there. And then he said, hold on, Will wants to talk to you. So I said, okay, no problem. So now he said Will wanted to talk to him once Charlie Mack got out there. So he wouldn't talk to me when I was on my phone. So whenever I talked to Will about sensitive topics, Charlie would meet up with me, call Will, whatever number he called, then put me on the phone on Charlie's phone, not from my phone. Right? So Will admitted to me that he had sex with Bryshere Gray, but it was consensual. Right? So I'm like, okay, so now it's starting to make sense because I would have never believed that the way this guy's acting, something had to happen. So now Will told me, and this is going to be in paperwork and everything, right? So when Will told me that he did have sexual intercourse with Bryshere, he said Bryshere did ask him to stop. Will said he finished, completed the act, then stopped. Right then and there, when a person says stop, that means stop. Period. So I do believe that Will Smith sexually assaulted Bryshere Gray.
I was not expecting any of this.
I know you.
The rumors of Will Smith being gay and having gay relations with who was it with?
Diddy.
I know, right? Hold on. So apparently Will's assistant, which I don't know if this is true or not. I mean, the whole thing sounds fishy because the same guy tried to interview on my platform and I said no, but he claims he saw Will Smith with Dwayne Martin.
Oh yeah.
I know. I know nothing about this. This is crazy.
I mean, well, you should interview Tisha
Campbell, who was married to Dwayne Smith. That'd be an interesting interview.
Wouldn't it?
It would. You know her?
I do.
All right, let's make some phone calls.
I don't know. But I mean, and then there's, what would be said and what wouldn't be said. But, I heard more rumors about Dwayne than Will.
Oh, you heard rumors about Dwayne? Oh. I heard some rumors about Will and Jada, which I won't mention because I'll get sued. But I've heard some rumors.
Making matters worse, Will had publicly announced months earlier that he planned to personally mentor Brett, echoing a troubling pattern. This is very similar to what Diddy did with Justin, promising mentorship and then allegedly abusing the young talent. Hollywood has a recurring issue with mentors taking advantage of young actors.
He's with my man Charlie Mack. So Charlie was with me every step of the way. First out the limo. So Charlie has been with me, 30 years coming up in the business. So, he's surrounded by a whole lot of strength. He's surrounded by a whole lot of love. And all he has to do is add discipline and he's going to be all right.
It's like Uncle Will, who is best to give you advice, and it's Will Smith, and I'm getting so much good advice. I got my first acting role, Empire, and it's changing my life, and it's like I'm listening from the great.
Brett's parents reportedly knew what was happening behind the scenes. They were aware of Will's behavior and that he allegedly allowed Diddy access as well. Brett's mom, Jaguar Wright claims, was aware but seemingly turned a blind eye as long as money was involved.
I'ma kick you in your pussy and then I'ma go to work North Philly style, bitch. Fuck you. And Charlie. You happy now? He's a gay porn star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell? I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life and what you had to do with it. Fuck you! You fucking CI bitch! I'm sorry. That bitch came to me and begged me for my help. I told her to get the fuck away from Charlie. I did everything that I could do to get Bryshere, to help her get Bryshere out of California into Chicago safe, to be ready for filming. She knew she knew what Will did to him. But because of Charlie, see? And Charlie had promised her all kinds of things. And all she had to do was pretend to be a broken down single mom who worked her way up through the ghetto and raised a superstar for television, when the truth is she wasn't nothing but a drug dealer.
This situation mirrors the pattern seen with Justin Bieber. During the time Bilal says Will was abusing Brett, Bilal himself was also dealing with legal trouble and arrests, similar to how Justin faced challenges and later admitted some of his actions were attempts to draw attention.
We're trying to figure out the situation. You need to help us. Verify what you're telling. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Up first tonight, we're following breaking news in the arrest of Bryshere Gray, one of the stars of the hit show Empire. Tonight, we're seeing hours of new video from his July arrest that ended with his wife flagging down police and telling them the actor had assaulted her for hours inside their Goodyear home. The bizarre jailhouse interview lasting for 2 hours as they try to piece together a case.
When Will realized Bilal might go public, he reportedly asked him to sign an NDA. Bilal knew that refusing could involve him in a criminal case as an accessory. Eventually, both Bilal and Brett signed mutual NDAs. Bilal now claims he has documents to back up everything he says.
That I was leaving. And he started telling everybody on set what was going on, that I knew that Will and Diddy allegedly raped him. Okay, so now I got to get my lawyers involved. Now we come to paperwork, right? So I let him know that I was going to sue him. That's number one. Sue Yaz. Because two things happened. Number one, the money he was supposed to pay, he didn't pay me, because Will was going responsible for the bulk payment. Then he was going around telling people I knew about these sexual assaults against him, you know? And so what happened with that was the lawyers got involved. Then Charlie and Will arranged a lawyer for Bryshere. So they was telling me, like, look, B, let this thing go. So I'm not letting nothing go. And this is to Will and Charlie allegedly telling them that I need an NDA from this dude. Because this dude, whatever y'all got me involved in, is something dangerous and filthy and diabolical. So they was like, well, we can't do that. So we'll pay you to sign an NDA with him. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want your filthy money. I want this guy to stop saying that I know that you and Diddy did something to him. Allegedly. So then they came back. My lawyer said, listen, this is the best that I think can happen that will protect you. They will allow a mutual NDA where Bryshere won't say anything about you, nor can you say anything about Bryshere.
But you're talking now.
Right.
Brett later spoke out about Bilal, but Bilal made it clear he wasn't going to be dragged into anyone's conflicts. Meanwhile, Jada continued to call Bilal a liar and claimed she would sue, but she never did. Frustrated, Bilal took legal action himself. On Monday, December 1st, he filed a $3 million lawsuit against Jada, alleging that she confronted him in the Regency Calabasas Commons lobby in September 2021, threatening him and warning that if he continued sharing personal information, he could end up missing or in danger.
Jada Pinkett Smith is facing a legal battle. The actress is the subject of a multi-million-dollar lawsuit filed by a former associate of her husband, Will Smith. In the lawsuit obtained by E! News, Bilal Salam alleges Jada orchestrated a smear campaign against him following an altercation at Will's 2021 birthday party. In the suit, which was filed in LA County on November 7th, Bilal alleges defendant Jada Pinkett Smith approached plaintiff with approximately 7 members of her entourage, claiming the actress became verbally aggressive. It continues claiming that the star threatened plaintiff by stating if he continued telling her personal business, he would end up missing or catch a bullet, and demanded he sign a non-disclosure agreement or else. Less than a year after the alleged incident, Bilal claims he was contacted following the 2022 Academy Awards, where Will infamously slapped comedian Chris Rock on stage and was asked to, quote, help with crisis management. However, he declined. After his refusal, Bilal claims a retaliatory campaign was launched against him, including threats from individuals closely associated with Will and Jada, which he says escalated after the Smiths learned he was writing a whistleblower memoir about his time working with the family. In the filing, Bilal says he began giving public interviews in order to protect himself, and
Jaguar Wright actually knew about all of this a year before Bilal went public. She has been discussing it for years. Last year, in an interview with Real Life Stars, Jaguar revealed that Will had abused Brett Gray, but no one believed her at the time.
Now he's saying that Bryshere Gray told him directly that he had been essayed by Will and Diddy. That's what Bilal is saying Tell me something. Have you ever heard anybody else say that?
That's new information.
Have you never heard anybody say that before?
Kids?
Yeah. You never heard me? I could have sworn to God I said it. Back in 2022 when y'all asked me if I was going to see that Fright of a Film.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did say it.
That was a year before Bilal came to the internet telling wild tales of Dwayne Martin power drilling Will Smith over the edge of a couch.
Talking about power drilling.
Now he wants to talk about the kids. Because that was funny. He sat down with Tasha K. Apparently he sat down with Andy Signori over at Popcorn Planet, and apparently he's following the same media trail that he did last time. Now he's self-publishing his book because he couldn't find a publisher to put it out. I Am Whistleblower is the name of the book. What was it? 38 years of Will and Jada. Now he wants to talk about Bryshere Gray. That's funny, nobody was talking about Bryshere Gray but me.
Brett isn't the only person accusing Will of abuse. A violinist, Brian King Joseph, claims Will fired him for reporting sexual assault during his tour. Brian alleges that Will had been grooming him for sex since November 2024.
The violinist is suing Will Smith, claiming retaliation after he alleges that he was fired for reporting sexual harassment while on tour with Smith. Brian King Joseph filed the lawsuit in California earlier this week, accusing Smith of deliberately grooming him for sexual exploitation. Joseph says the two began spending time alone together during Smith's tour, and he says Smith allegedly told him that they had a, quote, special connection. It also details an alleged traumatic series of events, that's a quote, including Joseph finding that someone had allegedly entered his hotel room while he was not there. After reporting the incident to police, he alleges a representative for Smith accused him of lying and fired him. Smith denies these allegations.
We've seen this pattern before with Diddy and Justin. Now, people are asking if Will Smith could be next. Whether these claims explode in court or continue playing out in public, one thing is clear: this has moved beyond gossip. The truth has a way of surfacing, no matter how hard someone tries to bury it. For the latest celebrity stories and shocking Hollywood secrets, subscribe to Haley Reporter and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Drop a like and share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear what you think.